Hey guys, this is DJ Phantom 205 here. I do apologize for the terrible quality of this video because my HD camera actually conked out on me. The battery did die, as a matter of fact, and this video would have been in 1080p, but this poor thing just had to die on us, so hopefully we'll get the charger later and we can record some more 1080p videos. Okay, so this is a 14 megapixel Fujifim AX330. That's the model name, whatever you want to call it. So this is actually a requested review from, I believe it's Art Productions 5, if I pronounced that right. So thanks for requesting this video, and also thanks for subscribing to our channel. We are in dire need of subscribers so that we can produce more videos as such. So back to the camera. Might as well just take out the batteries. This is one bummer. I would call it a bummer because you do have to basically disconfigure the power source in order to get to the memory card, which isn't so much of a bad deal because it makes it really hard, or I guess impossible, to corrupt the card for those of you who are not so tech savvy. So in the front, there's some information about the lens here. This little object right here, this little thing right here is a light for when you are focusing, and also when you're using the timer to take pictures. The flash is pretty blinding. I have not gotten blinded from it, but it is pretty intense. I don't know if you guys can see this clearly. I think this won't focus, but it says 14 megapixel right there. Fujifim Instagram, and 5 megapixels right there. The screen is a unprotected LCD display. The reason why I say it is unprotected is because this right here, that is not glass. I like cameras with a glass covering over the LCD screen because when you touch it, you don't interfere with the display. So it is in a way sort of unprotected. I would call it unprotected myself. This is your speaker for playing back when you're watching videos and so forth. It's a pretty big speaker, I mean, considering the size of speakers on other cameras that I've used in my career. So this is your tripod port here, and that's just about it for this side, other than here once again. Unfortunately, this is not the memory card that came with the camera. This is a 1 gigabyte SSD. No, just SD card. I got a little mix up there. Okay, so some people say that this door, the battery door here, is not exactly like solid. However, I have not encountered any issues with operation of this particular part of the camera. I guess some people just somehow jam it. Like, how do you get this thing? Okay. So, okay. This is your, it's actually a port for where you put in the strap. No brainer. It's kind of obvious. So, this is your USB port here. And back to the top where the power button is. And this is a two-part autofocus / manual focus button. Of course, if you're tech savvy with photography and so forth, you press down halfway to focus, press down all the way to capture a photo. This is your zoom button, and these little dots right here are actually, well, I'm not exactly completely sure what they're for. When you press them, they don't do anything, so they're most likely not buttons. Of course they're not buttons. Also, they do not light up, so I'm pretty sure that they're not some sort of backlight for it. This is your play button. You guys can see that. So it has a little well, this is your play button. It has a little play sign on there, and this is your display button for when you're displaying stuff and so forth. This right here is your trash button. It actually has a designated trash button, and this here is your flash setting button. The button going that way. That's your focus setting. this here is your flash button. Your flash settings are right here. Once again, this is your focus and so forth. You can go from macro to other settings on the lens. On the bottom is actually the timer button, sort of designated for things of that sort. And in the middle of this little soft keypad, whatever you want to call it, it is a menu / OK button. That's actually what it has labeled right on it. So enough talking, more doing. I will show you the correct way to install the batteries, just in case you don't know how to install the batteries right off the bat. This side here, that's the positive side, it sticks up to the part closest to the lens, closest to that side, if you don't know what I'm talking about. The little bit of the more smoother end actually goes up on the side closest to the farther edge of the camera from the lens. Now when you're closing this, I would suggest pulling it out just a little bit, all the way till it can't go anymore. You don't have to kill it, but then you slide right in. So one of my subscribers actually did ask the question, how does the display look from the camera when you're viewing pictures and so forth, if I completely understood the question properly. The zoom, it is pretty quick considering the zoom of other cameras that I've used in my career. The lens, it does come out a lot when you're zooming in and so forth. I don't know, I'm just a big fan of cameras with large lenses for obvious reasons. Okay, so right now it's in video mode, which actually does record 720p video, and it does tell you what mode it's in when you're about to record. Can you guys hear that? That is the sound of the lens focusing. I'm halfway pressing down the capture button and the lens is actually focusing. So it's not exactly the quietest camera in the world. However, I will say that for the money that I did spend on this camera, it is pretty decent. So it does say HD here, in case you can't see that. It's on standby right now, and so I'm gonna switch the setting from video to camera. The way how I do this is I go to the menu, and of course you guys can't see this, but you can actually scroll down through modes. So I'm not sure I would be able to go through all of the menu settings and so forth, but this is basically the interface, how it looks. To be honest, I think it's pretty simple compared to some of the cameras that I've used before. It does take a little bit of getting used to get used to this, but I mean, it is pretty decent. So these are just some clips, some snaps of the HD cam, the dials, and when you're viewing pictures, the lens does come out. Actually, sorry about that, I pressed the autofocus button. So let's go back to the pictures here. These are just a couple of snaps. Of course, you guys can't see this. It is rather difficult to show the actual quality of the screen while you're viewing pictures and so forth. For the subscriber that asked the question, does it show pictures decently when you're viewing it from the camera? So these are just a couple of snaps, as I've said before. Unfortunately, it does not flip the pictures automatically when you take them, because with some other cameras that I've used, when you take a picture like this, that's how bright the flash was. When you take a picture like that, you would actually flip it when you look at it. So let's go back to the picture that we just took, and that's how it was taken, and that's how it showed up on the camera. It did not automatically flip, which I guess that's not so much of a bummer. If you have some of the simplest photo editing software, you would be able to flip the picture. So that's just about it for this review on this wonderful camera. If you want to see a shortcut to turning on the camera, you can actually press the play button and it turns the camera right on. Just like, of course, it would not extend the lens, but it does turn the camera off when you press both the play button here and the capture button there. So, once again, this is DJ Phantom 205 with the review of the Fujifim AX330 720p video recorder, 5x optical zoom, 14 megapixel as I've said before. And so we're really happy to give you guys a little quick snippet of this cool little gadget. Please subscribe, rate, and comment, and watch out for our next videos.